everyone, and welcome to Art Journal Sunday. It's actually holiday Monday, but we are sitting in a queue lineup, as you can see, all the way down there, waiting for our ferry to take us over to an island in the Gulf Island. So I am going to do my art journal page in the car. So I've just prepped my pages with gesso, and I'm putting them in the windowsill to dry. So I wasn't able to art journal on the ferry. So we are here at the bed and breakfast on Salt Spring Island, and I will pan the location once I finish art journal. I just have my camera set up on this little tripod, and if I move it, everything's gonna go kaputzi. So I have gessoed this as best as I could with a little tiny sample of gesso that I had, which is okay. It's all about trying to do different kinds of things when you're away, right? So I'm going to use some watercolor crayons, and I just bought a paintbrush. Went to the home hardware store. They had paintbrushes. They had, oh, this cute girl gum. Hey girl, hey, don't need that. They had India ink for $4, $4.49. They had some drawing gum. I don't know if I'll need it. And they had some glue, of which I had none. So I'm going to start. I'll use the glue in a second. I'm going to start with some watercolor crayons, and I'm just going to create kind of a, a wash on these pages, just with some random crayon colors. I love using watercolor crayons more than pencils, because for me, I find they're way more vibrant. So I'm going to use some blues, just scribbling on the page. The reason I'm using blue is because some of my blue spray that I had sprayed on these pages is seeping through, so then it kind of looks like it is meant to be. I'm going to use a darker blue and some purple. And my theme today, Richard and I were talking about it actually in the car on the way here. He had said he was listening to this radio program, and they were talking about when people have goals or passions or dreams or whatever, and you might know what your passion is, but you don't know how to go about getting to it, getting things going. Like, your passion might be art or cooking or something like that, but you're not sure how. Okay, so I love art. I want to live on Salt Spring Island. I want to have a little art studio or teach art classes or whatever. And I have all these dreams and everything. So how do I do it? How do I make those dreams a reality? And so often we always tell people, especially our young people, we always are saying, you know what, you need to get off your butt and get it done. So now I'm just gonna see how lovely this blends in, and especially with the gesso underneath, it isn't going to seep through to the pages underneath. So let's get this all blended in and dried. I'll be right back. So while I'm doing my art journaling, I am sipping on some kombucha, which is fermented tea, and it tastes really, really good, and it's been consumed for 2,000 years all over the world, and it's been applied for medical uses in Russia, Germany, and China, and it's carbonated because of the fermentation, the lady was saying, and it's just full of probiotics, and it balances the internal pH and detoxifies the liver and a whole bunch of wonderful great things. So I bought a bottle, and she said it was the Healthy Man champagne, I think she called it, but it's really good. It's very, very good. So I thought, let me sip on that while I'm doing my art journal page. My pages are almost dry. I was dabbing them a bit, and now I can show you where I'm art journaling the view. There is the ocean. It's kind of a bay that juts in as part of the island. And so next I'm going to be using this 6x6 Rebecca Meyer stencil. And I'm going to use India ink and see how that works out. Hope you guys can still see me because I'm not sure. I'm taking this India ink. It has a dropper because I want it to be kind of a dry brush technique, or else this will seep all over. I'll close this up tight. And oh yeah, I had a different brush. This one is working way better. Get all down in those little groovies. Very interesting method, but you know, when you're away, you gotta, I broke my stencil, you gotta make do with what you got, you know, because you don't have your paints and all your stuff with you, but then that's part of the fun, part of the challenge, part of the, just getting her done, you know. That's kind of working. Not as good as it would with paint, but it's coming. I like this stencil because it has a lot of different shapes and things on it that don't necessarily go with each other. So if you kind of mess up, it isn't really going to look messed up. So yeah, that's kind of cool, except for the one I kind of broke, but that's alright. And I will do the same thing on this side of the page. So here's how my stenciling turned out. You see there's 3 butterflies, kind of webs and circles and stuff, and over there, very cool looking. So I sort of did it in the opposite corners of my art journal. And yes, you're probably wondering what is the subject of this art journal. Well, it's just like I said. For young people, we always say, you know what, or anybody, if you want to do it, get off your butt and do it. Just get off your butt and get going. But again, before a person can get off their butt, they have to sit down, make some plans, decide what it is they want to do some research. I don't care what it is. You have to pull up a chair and sit down. So instead of getting off your butt to get things done, the first step is to get on your butt. Sit down somewhere, make some plans, and decide exactly what it is you want to do, and then go for it. So I got this copper. I went to the store called Stitches, and it's a store for all kinds of media that you use fabric or thread for, and they even had a mixed media section. So I got this copper, not even sure, oh, what does it say? Copper knit, 2 meters of it. Isn't this coolest stuff? I don't know how it's, so I'm going to try to create a chair out of this copper stuff. It is very neat. So this is in a tube, you see? It's like a tubing. So I think what I'll first do is sketch my chair on the paper with a pencil, and then I will cover it with copper. So I've sketched a chair here. It's not very big. I probably should have made a bigger one, which I think I might do. I think I just might make this. No, I can't, because it's going to take away from what I've already done. I am a terrible chair drawer. Let me just say that right out front. Chairs are all about, you want to learn perspective in art. Just try and draw a chair, okay? Because I have been trying and trying. So what I'm going to do is take some of this Coolio wire, so at least it can be a funky chair, and it can look like I meant it for it to be all over the place. I'm just cutting it with regular scissors. It's really neat. It feels like wire, but it's actually knit, copper knit, but you couldn't wear it in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely not for clothing, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to cut the shapes of my chair. Oh, cool, look how it goes. It stretches and goes, oh, well, this is even cooler. That can just be my chair somehow. I don't know. But I'll figure it out, and I will be back. Okay, so I had to ditch the copper because this glue is not good, and I don't have any other glues here. So that's okay, that's all what it's all about. I bought this cheesecloth for $1.95 for a big, huge piece, so I'm going to glue it on my chair. Never fail. Using this, I picked up some glue, but it says memory book glue, so it's probably just for papers and such. I'm going to make this fit. This is the whole fun of mixed media. There's no right or wrong, and you can never make a mistake. So I'm going to cut this and shape it till it's the right shape. I think I got it for the chair. Oh yeah, that's going to glue nicely. Very good. So from this angle, it is starting to look like a chair if you use your imagination. Remember, it's all art. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and go around the legs and all that other stuff and outline the chair a bit. So what I did is I traced around the chair with some charcoal as well as my ultrafine Sharpie, and I wrote the word chair and an arrow, because you never know. Some people just won't know what it is. Okay? So now I'm going to take some of this stuff that I've got, these other bits and pieces of things, and I'm just going to embellish on these pages on both sides. So I basically stapled a little bit of that copper stuff that I had cut out in the corner there, right in the corner here. So I've got all this empty space up here, so I'm going to use some rub-ons and write some words up here. So here is my finished page. I added some black drips of India ink, chair, obviously, in case somebody doesn't know, washi tape, and that copper stuff. And the same here, some more drippage. And it says, get on your butt. So basically, before we can begin anything, our hopes, our dreams, our passions, whatever they are, you need to sit down, take some time, research, before you can get off your butt and go and follow your dreams. You have to get on your butt and do your planning and make sure that most times impulsive things don't work out, but sometimes they do. That's why I said most times. But if you've thought it through, got your planning, put all your ducks in a row, then chances are you'll be very successful in following your dreams. So this page is kind of crazy, but I was only working with what I had. I didn't have my paints, I didn't have any glue, other than that glue you saw me working with. And I bought that new stencil, and I had those old rub-on letters, but there weren't very many letters, so I drew some. But you know what, I still got my message out there that I wanted to get out there. And when I look back, the date is there, and it says on Salt Spring Island. When I look back years from now, I wonder, what the heck were you trying to create here, Monica? And then I'll remember, oh yeah, you were on Salt Spring Island. So that was fun. It was a great process. More importantly, beautiful view. Just beautiful. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next week. It probably won't be on Sunday because we'll be traveling on Sunday, but it will be the early part of the week. So thanks so much for watching, and thank you for your patience, and I apologize for getting this uploaded a few days late. And we'll see you next time. Bye.